Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection readings. Welcome to my channel, MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. And welcome to the featured sun sign for today as I go around my zodiac wheel. This is the first half of the month of July readings, and then I come back and do the second half of the month. And today's featured sign is that of the beautiful earth element of Virgo. Hi, Virgos. I like this for you a lot for today because, well, first of all, you're ruled by Mercury, and today is officially the day that the Mercury shadow from the Mercury retrograde we just experienced is gone. So I feel like, particularly with you being ruled by Mercury, Virgo, you're going to notice your mind with much better clarity, okay? I think it's been foggier for a lot of us, but particularly the signs, yourself and Gemini, who are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the fastest planet. It definitely affects things that are moving in all realms, such as our mind and our thoughts and our ideas and, you know, wanting to expand on that. And you're a very intellectual sign anyway, always wanting to grow and further yourself and succeed in anything you do, all the while being an earth sign, which is an earth element, which is all about being grounded and, you know, authentic, and I always want to say steadfast, although you're a mutable sign, as is Gemini. So here we have the two Mercury and mutable elements in today's astrology, you know, forecast as far as, you know, the planets as they are at this moment. So that's an interesting, you know, trine, you would call it, because that's a familiar and a harmonious type of energy for you. I like that right off the bat. We are in the Cancer season. Cancer, of course, being the emotional sign of water and sensitive and nurturing and caring. And that's going to be happening through, I believe it's the 22nd. Depends. Sometimes it's the 21st. It just depends when it goes into Leo. And so there's a lot of interest in family and, you know, friends and people that we care a lot about, wanting to be with them more. This automatically makes me think of the vacations that we're planning, the times that, you know, we weren't able to do in the recent past are all starting to happen, and it's exciting and it's loving, and it has to do with, you know, taking that time to be nurturing yourself, of course, but around the people, once again, that you really care for. So it's a beautiful time. It really feels very uplifting and invigorating when I feel what I'm speaking to you about right now. And now I'm going to pick your highlighted sign, Virgo, because this is done every day as well. The highlighted connection is the spontaneous, spiritually guided connection of love of any type, you know, whether it be love of yourself, your work. And I wouldn't be surprised because you're darn hard workers. And a lot of time is spent in your work to help others, basically, in a nutshell. This very authentic part of you that just truly wants to give and be of service is what I've always seen and recognized as the archetype for the Virgoian, I was going to say, if that's a word. Let me pick your highlighted connection, though, for you specifically. And remember, this could be a person, circumstance, or a situation with this energy that you're feeling very in tune with as well. It doesn't have to be a relationship or a person per se, but just feeling that energy. Perhaps you have this secondary energy in your chart, because we're more than just the sun sign. I know a lot of you watching this realize that, but if you don't, it's really a wonderful realization when you can check out your natal chart. Love it. I picked Sagittarius. Beautiful, beautiful fire, optimism, you know, truth-seeking, intellectual sign as well. I mean, they are all about higher learning and educating, and just in sometimes areas that we would call taboo. For example, many astrologists and people in, you know, certainly philosophical comes to mind as far as, you know, initiatives and ideas and interests. So, you know, teachers what am I trying to say? Scholars, they're all under this category of this beautiful, brilliant Jupiter-ruled sign of Sagittarius. So it's a really wonderful combination for most people. I think most people, if nothing else, can really establish a very fun and friendship-based relationship, because you know these Sagittarians are very freedom-seeking signs, and they're independent and they like their freedom. They love to travel. They love to share their knowledge and experiences, and they're just all around good people, and also very authentic as you are. You know, so here we have the fire and the earth, which is it's a polarity for sure, but it works together in a lot of ways, and I see it often. So that's what we're going to be focusing on for the 3 major category messages that I read every day for this highlighted connection, okay? And remembering that you are, as I said, ruled by Mercury, Virgo, a mutable sign, meaning you're very adaptable as far as an earth sign goes. Usually earth signs are known for being quite stuck and not really, a little more resistant to change, but very patient, very reliable, resourceful, very good at planning, and especially detail when it comes to you, Virgo. You're almost what they would call a perfectionist. And I think it's mostly with yourself, to be honest. So this is something that goes in within a lot of times that a lot of people in the outside world don't necessarily know until they get to know you. But you work very hard at improving and expanding your ability to better yourself, and therefore the people around you, because you share this wonderful trait of knowledge and information. You're just there for people. You're very, very, very caring, and a person that someone could come to when they ever had a question or a need. You'd be there for them. And I love that about you. It's wonderful. So let us read. Now, remember though, those of you that are just watching for the first time, I sincerely welcome you to my channel. I watched a video of mine yesterday, which is a rare thing for me to do. And I realized I talked, oh my gosh, so quickly. And I do talk quickly, and I decided to really work on that for the people that don't quite care for that or want to hear it a little bit slower. And yet I will tell you that anytime I seem to be reading for certainly Gemini, which I did 2 days ago, but the fact that we have the moon in Gemini still, as a fellow air sign to me, I'm a Libra, it's just I pick up on that energy, and they're quite fast and changeable and, you know, adaptable, and they're always, you know, it's hard to keep up with them. And so I find myself speaking quicker. Isn't that interesting? But I am going to make a concerted effort to slow it down a bit and just kind of bring the messages through so that you can really understand them, and hopefully you're resonating and you're feeling and connecting with that. So the 3 categories I like to read for every single highlighted connection is first and foremost the overall energy that led you to this reading. And like I said, we're on July 7th now, so we're past the shadow period officially as of today. Your overall energy, this is phenomenal, and it makes sense because your overall energy for today is the 9 of Cups. And Virgo, I just have to tell you, this is so well deserved and earned. I know how hard you work, and this is the time, as I prefaced this reading, the cups, the emotions, satisfaction, you know, fulfillment, emotionally stable and, you know, content, and creatively just very, very, very proud, very, I want to say just building upon, you know, the 9 of Cups is wishes fulfilled. And we are in the season of Cancer. And this is about, as I said, anything that really, you know, fills your heart, fills yourself with the desired contentment that you so deserve for being so hardworking, for caring so much for other people. Most of the time, Virgos are in the line of work that has to do with service for others. It's just that way. I mean, if you know them, think about it, okay? And if they're too young yet and they're still figuring it out, I have a feeling that's where they're leaning towards. It's an innate and very, very continuous, notable trait, which is very honorable and wonderful. And so this is about you, as I said, and taking your time and just enjoying and fulfilling some of your dreams, okay? Wishes fulfilled, things that you wanted to do now. You were held back last year, perhaps. you were probably working the entire time. I'm not going to lie, I would imagine. I know my chiropractor is a Virgo, and yes, of course she was open. She was essential last year, and certainly to me. And I love her so much for it. And she's, yeah, so she's also planning on her vacations coming up. And then, of course, her birthday is not too far in September. So, yes, this is what's coming through now. This is what comes from the hard work. This is what you've created, completely and wholeheartedly. So this is a beautiful beginning, I should say, of the overall energy for this reading. And when you have Sagittarius there, it definitely has to do with travel and going places maybe you never have. You're content with being at home a lot of the times, and you're doing your work. Now you can do your work from other areas depending on what it is. You can do it at home. Many of us have been, right, in the last year. That Sagittarius will open your eyes and bring you even more excitement. And the optimism there is just to just allow, just let it in. And we did have that beautiful full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on May 26th. That's still affecting you. The story unfolds, as they say, through the end of the year. So I hope it's beautiful things that are coming in and about the truth, because you are someone who seeks truth. I think we all do in our own right, but this is a very, very, very powerful time where that's going to be revealed continuously as a global notification, not just internally, because it could have something to do with your private life, of course. Things will come up and you'll be like, I kind of knew that, but now I'm completely assured and aware of that truth and what it is. So I think it's important that happens in our lifetimes, so we're not kidding ourselves, or we might be untruthful to ourselves. That does fit into the category. So that's not happening. Let's keep it on that upper high note, like I mentioned. And so the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles, and you have the Ace of Cups. Wow. I just have to say, my readings are about love connections of all types. And just as a side note, I was singing like I do to myself, and some old 70s, 80s love song, and it dawned on me, which of course we all know, but how many love songs are there in the world? Love is so potent and so powerful, and it's what keeps us going. It's our fuel, and it heals, and it mends, and it helps us to grow and expand and literally, expand our families with children and family, and the cycle goes on, right? Well, the Ace is just about fulfilling everything and imagining that beginning, like a new beginning when it comes to relationships, or a different level in the one you've been in for many years, or a reuniting with certainly maybe relatives, friends, associates that you hadn't been able to again, and just opening your heart and having an amazing time, being in tune with yourself and what your needs are. Something you probably don't do as much as you could, right, Virgo? Am I being honest about that? If I am, please let me know. If you are a subscriber or not, do please subscribe and like and share this channel as a special favor to me, basically. There's no, you're not committed to anything. It's just letting me know, thumbs up, you like it, and you understand, because you can comment. I promise I'll respond to your comments. And when you subscribe, you can do that. Like I said, there's no cost. It's just a way of letting me know that you are enjoying the channel, and YouTube likes that too. Beautiful. What would I see as this being as an obstacle? I can't say. I don't really see the Ace in any regard, on any level, in any suit, as being anything but the opening to new possibilities and transformations that absolutely will better our lives, in the highest good for you and everyone else. So, but it definitely is focusing on this heart thing. And I will bring into the mix the fact that two important things astrologically. We have both Mars, the planet of fire and passion and, fever and, action, and definitely just the words escaping me. You get the idea. And Venus, the planet of love and passion and money and magic and femininity and love and expansion of our heart in the sign of Leo. Like that's huge. Leo, the sun-ruled, ego-driven, action-packed, courage-filled, strength of the Leo is coming through. This is amazing, beautiful energy that you can utilize if you choose to do so. And I know every Virgo might have a different, amount of energy they feel because of when they're born, the time they're born, all the other planets in their natal chart. But I do feel that you will definitely be experiencing this amazing energy like all of us, and especially if you want to. That's the wishes fulfilled card. That's the first overall energy as we spoke of. So let's see what the final major category is, and that's going to be finances. Because it helps us to fill our cups, right? It doesn't bring us happiness, as they say, but it definitely helps us to feel secure and stable. And, as an earth sign, you do like to have things as secure as possible. And you want to be able to see and feel and touch them because you're all about the earth and the natural things of life. And you plant those seeds and you dedicatedly, I hope that's a word, put forth the effort to watch them grow patiently, methodically, very, very organized way. And sure enough, there they sprout out. The beautiful part of life and law of attraction, if you will. Your message for beautiful. What a wonderful being. They've been incredibly uplifting and inspiring, and I'm really happy to be the messenger for these. And even the ones that lend us the opportunity to recognize there are sometimes challenges we can always get through, and there's always a solution, but to be aware of them, and to help ourselves to, protect ourselves sometimes from that. But your financial card is the Justice, and that's a major arcana, and that it represents the sign of Libra. And Libra is the next sign after you. That'll be read about for tomorrow. And so I feel like you always kind of have that energy being so close to Libra on the astrology wheel. But it really is about just being fair and just in all of your transactions, which is obviously one of the best things you can do for law of attraction, because what you put out, you receive. It could mean that something really important came through that you've been waiting on that was absolutely fair in regards to your finances. Now, if it has to do with something regarding the courts, for example, money owed, alimony, I'll give some references, taxes that were held up, stimulus checks that are still coming in. There's a variance of different possibilities. It's happening, okay? And the cool thing, as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to share, is that the new moon in Cancer, which is the season we're in, which is, like I said, the heart, the cups, you've got 2 cards representing that. So I think your heart is really wide open right now for all sorts of possibilities and just nurturing feelings towards those, like I said, that you love. You're just feeling very, very comforted and safe and warm and happy right now. And the new moon in Cancer will happen on the 9th or 10th, depending on where you're located in the world. And that's all about your intentions and what you want to bring forth. And I'll tell you, it's amazing how when you write these things down or you visualize and you sit with this and you put this out into the universe, to your higher power, it can absolutely transpire and happens all the time. And so, yeah, there's justice in your finances. And I think it's been a while. And of course, with the retrograde affecting you more maybe than some of us, with your being ruled by the planet Mercury. And Mercury was the planet, as many are now, in retrograde. And a yearly thing that happens, the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, all retrograde until, September, October time. That's affecting us, but the more personal planets, Venus, Mars, Mercury, they really affect us. We can feel that quite a bit more. So now with Mercury stationed forward and has been forward, and the shadow period gone, I'm telling you, all this stuff is going to just, like the floodgates are just wide open, and those are the wishes fulfilled. You waited, and it's time. So that is beautiful and very, very, I hope you're feeling that already, know exactly what I'm talking about. But if not, I would imagine this full moon, or new moon, excuse me, will absolutely bring in the information. So that's fantastic. I'm going to finish with the rune I like to do to kind of finish and culminate the reading and see what information this beautiful, strong, incredibly wise rune has to offer. This has come up a few times and I haven't memorized it yet. You would think I would, but eventually it'll get in this noggin and stick. So it has what I call, and I know this is the two-parter, I believe. It looks like this. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have a little cheat sheet that I will be explaining, and I put that on the second category. That's the Ace of Cups. That's the beginning, the new idea, the new opportunity to open our hearts and maybe on any level feel completely loving about the situation, okay? And just very, very fulfilled on an emotional level. So that particular rune, its name is, it is of the one, it's of two, and when you pick this one or the other, it represents them both. It is number 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 can stand for stability. It can stand for, you know, that Four of Wands example of, you know, steady, foundational, you know, support and contentment and stability and so forth that comes with that meaning, okay, and in hopes that that is exactly what that is for you. And so 4 can absolutely have that energy with it, but it is 22, okay? I've simply broken it down. So 22 is in fact what they call a master number in numerology, and I am not an expert, but master numbers have even more emphasis and energy with them. And so let's go in there and just double check and let you know exactly what your messages are. So it's Ninj or Jin, which is NG or GN, and this is NG. The period is between May 15th and May 29th. So we're talking about between Taurus and Gemini season. There's that earthly energy combined with the, you know, mercurial, you know, just excited and mind thought-provoking air, you know, extension of thoughts, creativity, ability to speak well, teach, you know, mentor, educate, right? With information to share and to be passed on to others. And so we then go to the word associated with it is time. Ninj is time. So that's interesting because we have a large influence this year with the planet Saturn, which is also in retrograde. However, it is in the sign of Aquarius, the sign of air, which is all about information and sharing and, you know, the humanitarian sign. You see this water barrier, but, you know, Aquarian is an air sign. And the water barrier is filled with knowledge to share with everybody, so we all have a fair playing ground as to how we can learn and how we can educate ourselves to better ourselves, right? And to grow, you know. So this is beautiful, and so that just basically just passed. The words associated though are balance, introspection, subconscious, medicine, spirituality, tribulations, humiliation, and disagreements to be overcome. So in this reading and the balance of the justice and just this 9 of Cups, you know, everything that expressed itself of, you know, just, what did it say? It said just incredible. Guess what? I am so sorry. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to just be real with you. So I for some reason read something completely different. Oh, the sign above. Forgive me. Let me try that again for you. It's on to the next one. The actual word associated is hearth, which I take as the root word of heart. So there you go again. The initial beautiful feeling of love and compassion is the highlighted dimension of this particular rune. Then it goes on to say fertility, construction, shelter, yield, good investments, a hidden relationship, pleasures, and luxury. So, I mean, fertility really kind of strikes something with me because it's on the second moon, and that's the Ace of Cups. So that's about love, that's about initiating, that's about new. And I mentioned before, it could mean new members of the family, you know, a new relationship that would provide that for you, or not having a relationship and deciding to have it in a different way. It doesn't matter. There is an opportunity. It's a fertile time. And especially being in the season of Cancer, because Cancers are known as the mother sign, you know, ruled by the moon, mother of moon, you know, that nurturing, beautiful, loving aspect that's always around us with the moon, you know, the feminine side to us. So something to think about. Either way, whether you want it or not, it's a time to consider being careful or saying, yes, it's time. So I like that. That can be absolutely beautiful. One of the most important times of my life was my motherhood and my children, you know. And yes, I'm still a mother, and they're not at home anymore. So I don't know, you know, it's just one of those things where there's that deep love, you know, and when I see them, it's amazing. So that's the highlighted connection reading. And then I go on to read the 3 oracles. This is for every single Virgo and all of your relationships. So I am using the oracle this month for the first half of the month of the Starseed Oracle, which I absolutely love. It is so incredibly filled with wisdom and, you know, ancient wisdom and present wisdom and just ways to share love with us and kind of provoking beautiful thoughts and ideas for ourselves and awakening the parts of us that actually know these things, and maybe it's a little dormant, but it brings it back up, and it feels wonderful. So your specific message, Virgo, for the month, I actually picked 2. So let me put this down. You have weight of the world. Boundaries, let go. It's not yours to carry. Wow, this is so perfect for a Virgo who tends to carry a lot of the burden and a lot of the workload. And yes, you like it in some ways, but this is the time to let go and enjoy your life and have love from things that you wanted to do, the things that you're fulfilling yourself with, right? Releasing that, at least for a certain time during a vacation or whatnot. You can always come back to it. It'll be there. You know, it comes back and whatnot. Anything you want in your life is what will come to you, quite frankly. But let us read a little further, because I picked the 2 and I'm just curious now. Yours says, for weight of the world, that's at the back. Weight of the world. Now I'm really curious. Okay, so these are specifically for you, and I'm really curious to see. I don't remember reading this one. You don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's. To stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders. To put on your own oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. However, you can't take on the problems from a place of energetic depletion. Isn't that beautiful? This is what it's saying. It's saying, love yourself, love those you love, get out there, fulfill those cups, enjoy your life, okay? This card is thanking you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing it is likely unsustainable. That isn't to say you should switch off to the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taking out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy and both physically and emotionally, and I can imagine that's true. I think to myself, my beautiful Virgo chiropractor, oh no, please. You know, you kind of go there, but I would never want anything to happen to her, just period, because she's just a wonderful person. I would be able to carry on. Anyway, you know where I'm going with that. So instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nurturing practice such as meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature. And you know you love nature, Virgo, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Maybe your yard or your garden that you've so meticulously grown. I've seen some amazing gardens from those Virgos, let me tell you. And so, yeah, once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is filled, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. At the end of the day, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. You can pick up again the next morning if you so choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. Well, these are just incredibly important, wonderful words of wisdom and inviting us to do so if we choose, right? It's always free will. And the starseed soul inquiry, though, for this card is, what are you carrying that isn't even yours? Okay, something to think about, something to ponder, right? Something to use that mercurial mind to expand even more. So that's beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot for you. I think it's very suiting for who you are, constantly giving to others. Next, I'm going to read you the Healing with the Angels deck. I bring it out ever so often. I've had it a long, long time, by Doreen Virtue. And every day I pick an angel card, usually more. And I've been doing it for years. And this is just that wonderful word that represents the energy that the angels want to bring forth to you for this month, okay? So for you, beautiful Virgos, while planning your vacations and filling your heart and your needs, you have the card saying serenity. And I think that's right on. It's time for you to just live in serenity and calm and, you know, rest and retreat. And I know you recognize the beauty of life in the world, and that's the natural part of you that I really love. You love natural things. You can appreciate that. And so, yeah, simple but important, right? And a message that I think is very suiting for your reading. And last but not least, the Super Attractor Manifestation message, which is the oracle that provides you an opportunity to really feel the life you want into existence. You know, it's the component, that last ingredient that will absolutely bring forth for you tangible, physical, you know, proof of what you've manifested. It's important for earth signs, right? Believe it when you see it. Your beautiful message is, I can do less and attract more. Oh, this is a mantra you need to say over and over and over again, because it's so true. And it would really help you, I think, in a lot of ways, just to know that. And this is the new moon again there, so it has a lot of potency for you. I can feel that and understand that. And, you know, by the way, water and earth, which is, you know, we're in Cancer season, and you're an earth sign, Cancer being water, it's extremely complementary energies and, you know, elements for each other. So that's a beautiful blend and natural kind of synergy that's happening for you right now as well. So I hope you enjoyed this reading and that you do connect on some level. If not, just give it some time while you're, you know, basking in the sun and doing your thing. That is so well deserved. And I just appreciate you being here and taking the time. I won't take any more of it. Until next time, come back for your mid-month readings. I'll be here for you. Take great care. Bye for now.